I think a lot of people are hitting a breaking point with Los Angeles right now. Because imagine paying $5,000, $6,000, maybe even more every month, and still ending up with a smaller, older home, difficult parking, heavy traffic every day, and in some cases, neighborhoods you may not even fully feel comfortable in for the price you're paying. And here's the thing, a lot of buyers are looking at these monthly payments and thinking, at the end of the day, does this even make sense anymore? Then they drive out to the Inland Empire and suddenly they're seeing newer homes, bigger layouts, cleaner, newer neighborhoods, parks everywhere, top rated schools in certain areas, and honestly, a lifestyle that feels a lot more peaceful overall. And for many buyers, that completely changes their perspective. So in this video, I'm going to break down why so many people are moving to the Inland Empire right now, the pros and the cons, the biggest trade-offs, and what buyers need to know before making the move themselves. If we haven't met yet, my name is Christian Medina. I'm a local realtor here in the Inland Empire, and I help buyers relocate to places like Chino, Chino Hills, Eastvale, Ontario Ranch, Beaumont, all different places here in the Inland Empire. And on this channel, we talk about what it's really like living here, neighborhoods, new construction, the housing market, and everything buyers should know before making the move. So if that sounds helpful, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. Honestly, one of the biggest things I'm seeing right now is that a lot of hardworking families simply feel exhausted. They're tired of the traffic, tiny older homes, crazy monthly payments, and feeling financially stretched every single month. And I completely understand why. Because some buyers are looking at homes in Los Angeles where they could end up paying an extremely high monthly mortgage and still feel like they're compromising heavily on the lifestyle. Some of these homes need major updating, have outdated kitchens, old plumbing, old electrical, no garage, and very limited parking. And at the end of the day, a lot of buyers are starting to ask themselves, if I'm spending this much money every single month, shouldn't life feel a little easier than this? That's usually when they start exploring the Inland Empire. And honestly, that's when things start changing mentally for a lot of people. Because once they start driving through cities like Chino, Eastvale, Ontario Ranch, Chino Hills, they begin seeing a completely different lifestyle. They see newer neighborhoods, wider streets, community parks, shopping centers, family environments, and homes that simply feel more functional for their everyday life. Now, obviously, not everything out here is picture perfect. And I think it's important to say that honestly, because I never want buyers to think the Inland Empire is some magical perfect place where there are no trade-offs. There absolutely are. But for many buyers, the pros are starting to outweigh the cons, especially when they compare what their money buys. But here's something interesting. A lot of the LA and OC buyers I talked to originally tell me I would never move to the Inland Empire. And then a few months later, they end up buying here. Why? Because once they start comparing the lifestyle, the neighborhoods, the home sizes, and what their money actually buys, their priorities start shifting very quickly. But here's the part that most relocation videos don't really talk about. It's the trade-offs. And honestly, buyers deserve to hear both sides. Now, obviously, one of the biggest trade-offs for some people is commuting. And honestly, traffic during peak hours can be brutal, especially if you still work in Los Angeles, Orange County, or areas west of the Inland Empire. And at the end of the day, that commute becomes a sacrifice many buyers are willing to make for. More space, a better neighborhood, newer homes, and a calmer lifestyle overall. But for other people, that drive can become exhausting long term. So I always tell buyers, don't just think about the house, think about your daily life. Think about your mornings, your evenings, your stress level, your family time, and what your normal week is actually going to feel like. Another thing people sometimes misunderstand about the Inland Empire is they assume the entire area is the same. And honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, there are areas some buyers may not prefer, but there are also many incredible neighborhoods with top-rated schools, beautiful parks, strong family communities, newer shopping centers, and quieter environments overall. That's why understanding which cities fit your lifestyle best matters so much. And here's another thing. Buyers notice a lot of newer homes in the Inland Empire do come with smaller yards or almost no backyard at all. So again, there are trade-offs, but for buyers, the overall lifestyle improvements still feel worth it. At the end of the day, I think many buyers moving to the Inland Empire are really searching for peace, not perfection. Peace, less stress, less congestion, more breathing room, and honestly, that's one of the biggest things people tell me after they move out here. They feel calmer, especially compared to the constant pace and congestion of LA. And here's the thing, a lot of Inland Empire communities are built around family living, especially cities like Chino, Chino Hills, Eastvale, Ontario Ranch. You have parks everywhere, sports complexes, walking trails, newer schools, shopping nearby, restaurants, and master planned communities. And for many families, that environment simply feels better for raising kids and building a long-term life. Another huge thing buyers notice is space. A lot of buyers are shocked by what they can get compared to Los Angeles. Instead of tiny bedrooms, no office, no storage, street parking, they're suddenly getting lofts, offices, larger kitchens, driveways, garages, and layouts that actually work better for everyday life. And once buyers begin imagining their future differently, their priorities often start changing very quickly. By the way, if you're thinking about relocating to the Inland Empire, people reach out to me every single week trying to figure out which cities fit them best, what neighborhoods they should focus on, whether new construction makes sense, and how to make the numbers work for their family. So if you ever have questions about buying, selling, investing, or relocating, feel free to call me or text me directly at 909-374-4260, or check out all my contact information below in the description. I genuinely love to help you. All right, this next part is probably the most important part of this entire video because it's one of the biggest mistakes buyers make when relocating to the Inland Empire, and that's choosing the wrong city. A lot of people think the Inland Empire is all the same, but that's completely false. Some cities are much better for commuters, first-time buyers, families, newer homes, or buyers wanting a quieter lifestyle. And choosing the wrong area can completely change your experience living here. So let's break down which cities fit different buyers best. All right, Chino honestly feels much more quieter compared to many parts of LA. Less traffic, great neighborhoods, great schools, more family-oriented overall. And that's one reason so many relocation buyers end up focusing here first, just like I did. Chino Hills feels more upscale overall, more hills, more mature neighborhoods, more established communities. A lot of buyers moving from Orange County especially tend to connect with Chino Hills quicker. Eastvale is extremely family oriented, lots of newer homes, cul-de-sacs, parks, larger layouts, and newer schools. A lot of move-up buyers really love Eastvale. Ontario Ranch is exploding with growth right now. If you like newer homes, modern communities, future developments, newer shopping centers, it's definitely an area worth considering. And for buyers prioritizing affordability, places like Beaumont can still offer significantly more home for the money compared to LA or Orange County, especially for first-time home buyers trying to break into the market. At the end of the day, I think one of the biggest mistakes buyers make when relocating to the Inland Empire is only focusing on price, because affordability matters, but your lifestyle matters too. Your commute matters, the stress level matters, your family time matters, your neighborhood matters. And I always tell buyers, don't just buy the cheapest house, buy the lifestyle that actually works best for your family long term. Because the right city for one buyer may feel completely wrong for another. So hopefully this video gave you a better understanding of why so many people are leaving LA, why the Inland Empire continues growing, and whether this move might make sense for you too. And if you're thinking about relocating anywhere here in the Inland Empire, whether that's Chino, Chino Hills, Eastvale, Ontario Ranch, Beaumont, you got Fontana and Rancho Cucamonga too, any of the surrounding areas, feel free to call me or text me. My information will be here on the screen somewhere. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos about living in the Inland Empire, neighborhoods, real estate, and what it's actually like moving here. And I'll see you guys on the next video.